What if I told you Vegas's famous $1 buffets aren't just gone? They're a memory sold to the highest bidder. You walk in expecting endless trays of prime rib, mashed potatoes, and desserts for pennies, the smell of roasting meat filling the air, laughter bouncing off neon-lit walls, until you see the menu. $75 for dinner, $30 for lunch, kids no longer eat free. For families and budget travelers, Vegas isn't fun anymore. It's a wallet trap. Today we're exposing how corporate greed killed the American dream one buffet at a time, and why those golden days will never come back. The $1 dream. By the late 1950s, $1 buffets were everywhere. Hotels like the Thunderbird, Sahara, and Flamingo followed El Rancho's lead, offering endless food for less than $2. Buffets became the heart of the casino, drawing families, honeymooners, and night shift workers alike. You could walk in at midnight, grab a plate of carved roast beef, mashed potatoes, and a slice of pie, and feel like you belonged. Chefs hustled behind long counters while waiters carried steaming trays across smoke-filled halls. It was cheap, plentiful, and part of the Vegas charm. But behind the scenes, management noticed something. While customers loved it, the profits were tiny. Slowly, margins mattered more than magic. The first price hikes were subtle, and they set the stage for the end of the $1 meal. Prices begin to climb. By the early 1980s, the first real crack in the $1 buffet magic showed up. What used to cost $1 now hovered around $5, sometimes $6. Hotels like the Stardust and Tropicana started experimenting, bumping prices higher and adding a few fancy touches, better prime rib, more seafood, maybe a chocolate fountain. Families who once spent a weekend for under $10 suddenly found themselves staring at a $50 breakfast bill for $4. The food was better, yes, but the joy of cheap abundance was fading. The old neighborhood feeling, the sense that anyone could walk in and taste the Vegas dream, was slipping. Casinos weren't done yet. To make the price jumps feel justified, they leaned into spectacle, and that's where the arms race began. The buffet arms race. Vegas entered a new era of excess in the 1990s. The Strip's top hotels turned buffets into full-blown productions. Bellagio's Bacchanal offered over 500 dishes, Wynn added seafood towers and made-to-order stations, and Caesars carved specialty corners into every hallway. Tens of millions poured into renovations. Wynn alone spent more than $100 million, according to the Las Vegas Sun. Chefs in crisp whites plated lobster, caviar, and sushi as diners watched in awe. It felt like a spectacle, but for a family, the price tag hit hard. $50, $60, sometimes $75 a person. Even as buffets dazzled, many old favorites struggled to survive the new high-stakes competition. Local favorites disappear. Empty halls and locked doors replace the smells and chatter locals loved. Red Rock, Green Valley, and Sunset Station buffets, once neighborhood staples, closed down, each bleeding about $3 million a year according to the Vegas Review-Journal. Families who celebrated birthdays or grabbed late-night meals felt the loss keenly, passing by the darkened entrances with a mix of nostalgia and frustration. What used to be a shared community space became a memory, while the big strip buffets rolled out the red carpet exclusively for tourists. The local Vegas experience, simple, affordable, and familiar, was fading fast, leaving only flashy halls and high price tags to define what a buffet meant in the City of Lights. Mega buffets for tourists. Spotlights glint off towering dessert towers as tourists snap photos and fill plates with lobster, crab legs, and prime rib, spending $74 to $86 a person, according to Forbes. It's a show, a spectacle, a taste of luxury designed to dazzle first-time visitors. Meanwhile, locals glance in from the sidelines, remembering the days when $20 could feed a family, and the joy wasn't measured in Instagram likes. The feeling of community, of casual indulgence, is gone. A few old-school buffets still operate quietly, Station Casinos Boulder or Palace Station, for instance, but their days are numbered. The question now isn't what the Strip offers, but how long these survivors can hold on. Surviving buffets. Inside the South Point Garden Buffet, steady lines of price-conscious diners move past trays of roast chicken, carved beef, and stir-fried vegetables, paying anywhere from $18.95 to $52.95, according to the Las Vegas Sun. Over at Circus Circus, weekend breakfast clocks in at $32.95, while smaller ethnic buffets keep lunch under $15. These spots cling to the old spirit, serving those who remember the value of a full plate without breaking the bank. Regulars nod to familiar chefs and share small talk, a faint echo of the community once found in every casino hall. But change is relentless. Corporate executives eye every square foot, and soon, traditional buffets face a new threat. sprawling food halls designed for spectacle and profit. Food halls replaced buffets. The Rio and Aria led the charge, transforming their once beloved buffets into glossy food halls, Las Vegas Review-Journal reported. Names like Proper Eats, Canteen, and Block 16 filled the space, aiming at millennials with Instagram-ready stations, sleek decor, and minimalist seating. Gone were the endless trays, the shared tables, the chaotic charm of all-you-can-eat abundance. The focus shifted from community to curated bites and high margins, turning a social ritual into a quick stop for fancy photos and single servings. For families and locals, the old buffet experience vanished almost overnight. The greed factor. Behind the glitz and neon, a quiet shift was underway. Casinos realized that catering to high rollers and tourists willing to spend $100 a plate was far more profitable than serving locals a simple breakfast for under $20. Old buffet halls, once buzzing with chatter and clattering plates, now sat empty, replaced by flashy, expensive dining rooms and specialty bars. Industry reports calculated that closing just a few traditional buffets could save operators millions a year in labor, food, and maintenance. The impact rippled beyond profit margins. Las Vegas food culture was being rewritten, and families who once shared plates of roast beef and mashed potatoes now had to navigate a city built for the wealthy, leaving nostalgia for the $1 meal bittersweet and rare. Navigating modern Vegas. Tourists and locals alike learned quickly that eating in Vegas now required planning. Families would scroll through TripAdvisor, hunting for off-strip buffets or weekday specials to stretch their dollars, carefully calculating the cost of breakfast, lunch, and dinner before even leaving the hotel. Gone were the days of spontaneous indulgence. Each meal became a strategic choice. At places like the South Point or Palace Station, careful timing and coupon clipping were the only ways to keep costs manageable. Even then, extra charges lurked, resort fees, parking, and drinks piled on top. Every step reminded visitors that nothing was cheap anymore, and the freedom to eat without thinking about the bill was gone. Resort fees that hide in plain sight. A $100 room can quickly feel like $140 the moment you check in. Resort fees like the $39.95 at Caesars Palace reported by Vegas Insider cover Wi-Fi, gym access, and pool use, but they aren't optional. Tourists often freeze at the counter, staring at the extra charge blinking on their receipt, wondering how the total grew so fast. Suddenly, what felt like a bargain is a small financial shock, adding stress to what should be a fun getaway. The hidden costs pile up, from parking to amenities, and each one chips away at the sense of freedom visitors used to enjoy. And if resort fees bite hard, wait until you see what a simple cocktail costs on the Strip. Sky-high cocktail prices. Neon lights bounce off the bar glass as a bartender slides a glowing pink cocktail across the counter. You reach for it, expecting a fun night out, and then see the total $20, sometimes $25, and at some places, like the Cosmopolitan or Caesars, a margarita can hit $28, according to 2024 reports from USA Today. Happy hour deals are scarce, barely saving a few dollars, and suddenly, each drink becomes a mini calculation rather than a treat. What was once spontaneous fun now feels like a ledger of costs. You sip slowly, counting every dollar, realizing even casual indulgence comes with a bite. And if shelling out for drinks hurts, losing a few bucks at the slots will hit even harder. The $5 slot machine minimums. You step up to the row of slot machines, hoping for a casual spin, only to realize the old $1 and $2 machines are almost gone. $5 has become the standard minimum on most strip machines. The casual gambler who once tested their luck without much risk now faces a higher entry point, and the middle-class crowd slowly disappears. Families and weekend locals skip their usual trips, leaving the floors quieter and the vibe more exclusive. What used to be small thrills for anyone is now reserved for bigger spenders. And if losing $5 already stings, the next hidden cost will hit your wallet even harder. Slot payout decline. The reels spin across the brightly lit slot machine, and a jackpot of $500 flashes on the screen. When the payout comes, only $400 arrives in the tray. Nevada Gaming Commission data from 2024 shows that average slot payouts now sit around 88 to 90%. In the 1990s, machines returned closer to 92 to 95%, giving casual players a fairer shot at small wins. House edges have crept up steadily, and what once felt like exciting victories now brings frustration instead. The thrill of winning has shrunk, and casual gamblers face higher costs with less reward. Table games aren't any kinder, demanding even bigger bets from hopeful players. Blackjack tables with high minimums. Empty blackjack tables line the casino floor, each with signs showing $25 to $50 minimum bets, even in the quiet of a Tuesday afternoon, as reported by USA Today. Casual players glance at the numbers, wallets in hand, and step away, realizing that the spontaneous nights of small-stakes fun are gone. The middle-class locals who once filled the seats are absent, leaving a quieter, more exclusive atmosphere. Dealers shuffle cards, waiting for the few who can afford the stakes, while the rest of the floor feels inaccessible. As regulars are priced out, even loyalty programs start to feel meaningless, and the perks that once kept players coming back have begun to vanish. Loyalty programs that stopped paying. Veteran gamblers check their Caesars Rewards or MGM accounts and notice something troubling. Points that once accumulated steadily now crawl at a snail's pace. Reddit posts are filled with complaints. Players who spent years chasing perks suddenly find rooms no longer comped, dining credits slashed, and slot points harder to earn. The rewards that once made returning to the casino feel exciting now feel like a trap. A system designed to extract more money without giving anything back. The excitement of loyalty has faded, leaving disappointment in its place. Buffets that stopped being buffets. Hallways once filled with steam and laughter now echo with disappointment. Legendary buffets that once served endless trays for $1 to $10 now charge $25 to $45, according to the Las Vegas Sun. Tourists reach for crab legs or prime rib, only to find empty trays or long lines for limited options. Desserts and carved meats, once plentiful, now feel scarce, leaving diners frustrated and nostalgic. The charm of all-you-can-eat abundance has been replaced by careful selection and rising costs. Families and casual visitors realize that the Vegas buffet dream, the place where anyone could feast without worry, is now a luxury. And if the food feels less generous, wait until the drinks arrive. The vanishing free drinks. Slot machines used to flow with complimentary beers, cocktails, and soft drinks, keeping players relaxed and happy. Now, visitors swipe a card and pay $8 to $12 a drink, Vegas Weekly reported. The surprise on their faces says it all. What was once part of the fun is now another line item on the casino's ledger. The casual thrill of sipping a cold beer while chasing a small win has been replaced by careful budgeting, each drink another cost to consider. Every small pleasure is now monetized, adding to the growing feeling that Vegas isn't welcoming anymore. And if paying for a simple drink stings, the next surprise hits even deeper. Tipping traps everywhere. Tables and bars now demand tips almost everywhere. Signs remind visitors to leave $2 to $5 per hand, per drink, or per small service. TripAdvisor. A casual player with a handful of dollars might step away, guilt creeping in, realizing that even simple enjoyment comes with an unspoken cost. The tiny pleasures of Vegas, the free drinks, friendly dealers, easy wins, have been replaced by constant calculations. How much to tip, how much to pay, how much is left. Every corner feels monetized, turning fun into a series of small financial hurdles. And once the tipping guilt sinks in, souvenir shopping adds yet another layer of unexpected expense. Gift shops that overcharge. Gift shops along the strip used to be a place for cheap mementos. Keychains, postcards, t-shirts for $5 or $10. Now, Vegas Insider reports that small souvenirs can run $20 to $50. A neon-lit keychain catches a tourist's eye and the price makes them laugh bitterly, remembering how it used to be. The memory of Vegas, once easy to take home, now carries a premium. Every keepsake feels like a calculated expense, part of the city's push to monetize even the smallest experiences. The walk back to the car reminds visitors that the costs don't stop at the gift shop. Parking fees are waiting, ready to chip away at the day's budget. Parking fees that drain wallets. Pulling up to the strip, visitors are hit with another surprise. Parking fees. Las Vegas Review-Journal reports that most hotels charge $20 to $50 a day, while some resorts push it to $65. Tourists swipe their cards, eyes widening as the extra cost sinks in. The car, once a simple tool to get around, now feels like another line item in the budget, quietly draining the wallet. What used to be a carefree stroll to a buffet or show has turned into a financial calculation with every stop. And while parking empties pockets, entertainment itself has become another place where the old, cheap fun of Vegas has almost disappeared. Shows that used to be cheap. Las Vegas shows, once accessible for a modest $30, now carry steep price tags. Cirque du Soleil, comedy acts, and magic performances routinely start at $100, Vegas Today reports. Families planning an evening out quickly see costs double or triple, turning a casual night of entertainment into a serious expense. Seats that used to let middle-class visitors experience the spectacle up close have vanished, leaving only premium options. The joy of spontaneous show nights, once part of the city's charm, is now reserved for those who can pay. And if ticket prices sting, the next surprise waits at the table. Drinks have stopped being complimentary. Table drinks now paid. At the blackjack table, the dealer slides a menu across the felt, listing cocktails at $12 to $18 each. Vegas Weekly reported that about 70% of strip casinos no longer offer free drinks at table games. What was once a perk to keep players comfortable and engaged has turned into another way to squeeze money. The casual thrill of a hand of cards or a roll of the dice is now shadowed by the cost of a single drink. Patrons sip slowly, tallying expenses in their heads, realizing that luxury has shifted into a form of subtle pressure. And if table drinks sting, the hidden costs in hotel rooms loom even larger. Room upgrades that aren't free. Hotel check-in now comes with unexpected strings attached. What seems like a complimentary upgrade often isn't. Skift reported that many upgrades require at least $500 in casino play. A tourist expecting a spacious suite finds a standard room instead, the promise of luxury dangling just out of reach. The illusion of perks has faded, replaced by a system where rewards depend on how much money you're willing to risk. Every step, from drinks to rooms, feels like a calculated expense. Guests start to realize that even comfort is monetized, and just when they think the bill is final, the checkout process delivers one last shock. Checkout fees you never saw coming. By the time visitors slide their key cards through the checkout scanner, the final tally can feel like a betrayal. Early checkout penalties, minibar charges, and unexpected late fees can push bills up by $50 to $200, leaving jaws dropped and wallets lighter. Hotels track every detail, from the soda open to the pillow fluffed, turning simple departures into small financial stress tests. What was supposed to be the conclusion of a fun trip now feels like an endless series of charges, each designed to squeeze more from guests. And if checkout fees sting, the ultimate blow to the spirit of Vegas waits at number 1. The most blatant sign that the city's heart isn't in its people anymore. The death and legacy of the $1 meal. The $1 meal, once a symbol of Las Vegas's generosity and playful spirit, has all but vanished. Families who grew up with station casinos' $10 lunches or the legendary $1 breakfasts at smaller off-strip buffets now find themselves paying $15 to $20 at the last surviving ethnic spots, according to local reports. These remaining venues serve as tiny islands of the old Vegas, places where a full plate, friendly faces, and casual conversation still exist. Visitors linger, sharing stories, snapping pictures, and savoring more than just food. They're tasting history. The transformation is stark. What was once an accessible playground for locals and tourists alike has become a city built for spectacle and selective luxury. Corporate greed reshaped every corner, from buffets to drinks, rooms to shows, leaving only echoes of the communal joy that defined the Strip. The affordable dream is gone, replaced with polished facades and price tags. Las Vegas now caters to those who can pay for the glitter, while the soul of the $1 meal becomes a memory waiting to be reclaimed elsewhere. Vegas didn't vanish overnight, but it drained itself one buffet at a time. Each closure, every price hike, and every lost family dinner chipped away at the city's heart. The $1 meals that once brought strangers together, the laughter over shared trays, and the simple joy of a night out without worry have all but disappeared. If you remember a buffet you loved, or mourn one that's gone, share your story in the comments below. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because in the next video, we'll explore the few Vegas spots that still give you real value for your money and a taste of the old magic.